Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm from New Zealand, but I've lived here in Lebanon for about 20 years. And in the apartment building where I live, opposite it came to my attention that there is an Ethiopian girl living in that apartment who never ever went out. And her situation is reasonably typical in that she has no day off, she never leaves the house unless the family who basically own her take her from there to another apartment to clean that place. So I got an MP3 and I loaded it with the New Testament and about 250 songs in her language, Amharic. And I threw it from my place over her balcony. And the next day she said from her kitchen window that it was flat, which means that that night she'd listened to it for at least 5 hours. That's the life of a battery. So I got a battery and I threw that to her as well. And it really made a difference for her. You know, it really, I think it's not unfair to say that it was life transforming. So that gave me the idea of why not let's do that for the other shut-in maids in Lebanon who are basically, they're basically slaves. One a week commits suicide here. So I did a crowdfunding project and got 1,200 of these. And they're in the languages of the Ethiopians, the Bangladeshis and the Sri Lankans. And you can't get access to these girls because they never ever leave the house. But I've become friends with the concierges, and they're from, most of them are from Syria, and they know exactly what's happening in their buildings. They know that the maid on the 5th floor goes out, but the maid on the 2nd floor, for example, never goes out. So they see these girls because they come down to throw out the rubbish, and they feel for them, the concierges, because you know they're also in a difficult situation here in Lebanon. So I give them the MP3s and then I go back to see them after a few days to see how they got on. And the maids, they tell me, are so happy with them. You know, they love them. As imagine you would be if you were a slave in a country where you never saw someone who spoke your language, and then suddenly you get something in your language, you know, the New Testament, songs, testimonies, devotions, and so they love them. It's been so successful that I really want to take the pilot project further and raise funds so that more of these roughly 200,000 shut-in maids can get an MP3. So if you would like to give some funding for this project, I can get them to these maids who are slaves here in Lebanon. Thank you for listening and thank you for your support.